Hello from Costa Rica. Look at this beautiful scenario. Today I'm gonna have a live transmission from Costa Rica. I'm gonna upload this maybe a few days later about codependency. And this is not the most comfortable chair to do this, but let's try. How do I do this? Here we go. Codependency. Well, I've been here for a few days now with my mom, and I actually wrote a poem about codependency today that I wanted to share, but it's not here with me, so I'm going to share it another time. But I wanted to talk about codependency because I've been struggling with codependency for most of my life, and I believe that I've reached some understanding, some realizations, some illuminations about codependency for me. Hopefully what I'm going to say, it's a frequency that you're going to catch and hopefully apply to your own life so we can heal codependency in the world. So let's start by trying to explain what I think codependency is. And for me, codependency is when you and another person are somehow enmeshed. There is not really an understanding about who are you and who is the other person. And there's a little bit of a toxicity, like a dynamic that is a loop of the mind that is based in lack, in fear, in scarcity, or in any other kind of lower emotions. So codependency is a way of relating that it's inferior in my point of view. So I'm going to read to you my poem on codependency, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about it, because I think it explains a lot in this poem. It's called Bye Bye Codependency. Help me, I'll save you. Save me, I'll help you. Infinite loop of powerlessness. Nowhere to go from being both less. Survival mode engaged. Neediness intertwined. Nothing can be built in such barren land. Victimism is a frequency with no end. Yet inside, victory resides. When we can see the ability of you and me to be the prize. Let me be free to learn as I must. Free yourself too and learn to trust. We cannot be gods to one another. The tethering to source, it's only from the inside. You can only give from overflow, not to fill others, just to show God's order. Abundance is available to all. Don't think you have everything, while others, nothing at all. Don't make it your mission to hold another's fall. The mutual agreement of a healthy bond could be to always witness each other's growth and give one another our endless gold, sourced from the fountain of our self-love. Let's break the loop. No more saving or helping, just loving. Loving, giving, loving, receiving, loving, and loving, living. Together as one. I know it's a little bit of a utopia because I have grown up with codependency in my family, and it's very strong and it's very ingrained in my DNA. And now that I'm spending a few days with my mom, I see how it's kind of like it's a programming that it's very deep in the roots of the beingness. And even when we are becoming more aware of ourselves in the path of self-realization, it's still there. It's like the foundations of ourselves in a certain way. I've been my whole life fighting codependency. And one of the ways that I've realized a few weeks ago, was that I'm in this path of healing my family lineage and trying to heal everyone back behind. Oh, this beautiful bird just passed by. Trying to heal everyone back in my past, And I realized that that's codependency. This whole idea that I'm a healer, that I'm going to heal my ancestral lineage. No, why would I do that? Because that is me thinking that they weren't able to heal themselves. And that is a thought of lack, of less, of thinking the other person is not able to do something that you are able to do. And so then you become the superior and the other person becomes the victim. And that's one of the ways that we play these roles in society, is always having one person up and the other person down, or one person rich and the other one poor. That's the duality. And so in this mindset of duality, we always have to have either win or lose. And it's very hard for the human brain to think about win-win, lose-lose, to think about win and lose as one only concept of unity. And that's where we're always trying to reach as the ideal, the ideology of being humans in this earth, is believing, understanding, reaching the beingness of being one, not only with another human, but with nature, with things around us. And that would be oneness. And I believe codependency is a little bit of the kryptonite of oneness, or the antithesis of oneness. And I will tell you, this word was revealed to me a long time ago. In 2013, I got married. And I married just out of, fairy tale in my mind, I don't know, out of trauma. I married out of trauma, so I married trauma. And I was very unconscious at the time of what I was doing and who I was being. And I remember that was like, everything was beautiful on week 1, and then on week 2 of being married or whatever, having a relationship, there was friction. And that's when you understand there is codependency, is when you are in a relationship with another person and there is some kind of friction. Either the person triggers you and you feel offended by whatever they said, or you trigger the person and they feel offended by whatever they said. And it's a matter of like, somebody there is taking something personally, and somebody there is thinking that the other person is doing something to them, or you are doing something to the other person, or you think that you have an effect or a certain kind of control over the other person, and you're trying to exert this control when we don't. Okay. And so when there's friction in a relationship, you can tell there's codependency. And codependency is a disease. It's an unawareness disease of the mind. Somehow within each other, a connection there, a thread of energy between two people that is unhealthy. That's codependency in a nutshell. So how I got to codependency, I was married and there was a lot of friction between me and my husband. So we decided to go to therapy. And when we went to therapy, the first thing, it's a group therapy for couples. We were trying to figure out what was the issue. My husband thought I was the issue. I thought he was the issue, codependency. When we started journaling or doing whatever, the questionnaire of like the questions, trying to understand our past, our family, how we were brought up. And then they offered us to read a book called Codependent No More by Melody Beattie. And that was the first session, right? So we did everything. I was very in denial and blind about my own toxic traits, about my own spots of codependency. I didn't even know what codependency was a word or existed. It didn't exist in my universe or vocabulary, that word codependency. So what happened was I read the book, and we had a session the next week. So I read the book in like 3 hours because I couldn't stop reading the book. And I remember coming to the session the next week, and they were like, "Oh, who read the book?" And I was like, "Me." And they were saying something about, I don't know, "Oh, so what did you think about the book?" And I just went up with my hand and I said, "I'm a codependent." And I was so happy. And they looked at me like, "Oh, I never saw somebody so happy to understand that, or to realize that they were codependent." And I was happy because when I knew that was it, that I was looking at it, then I could do something about it. Because before I didn't know, and I was always trying to figure out like, what the fuck is going on, literally, that there's all these I never work in relationships, I offend people offend me. Like, there's this enmeshment of drama and trauma, and that it was very overwhelming to me, because deep inside my heart I knew that there was only love, that only love is real. But then all this codependency, which is like a veil of illusion, was all over my life. And once I was able to at least point it out and name it and realize I'm a codependent, I was so happy and relieved. And it was funny because everybody was looking at me like I had 3 heads and I was crazy. But again, this was 2013, 12 years ago, I realized I was a codependent. And only now, 12 years later, ugh, I am more and more clear about what that means, because seeing something and naming something means that you're okay, great, you're going to go on a journey to heal that thing. And a few weeks ago, like I said, I was crying. I was having my prayer moment of, why am I here? Like, why is there so much suffering inside myself, not outside? Outside, my life is amazing, honestly. I cannot complain about anything in my exterior because everything is perfect. God gives me so much. And I'm right now looking at a hummingbird. Oh, yes, thank you. In a volcano in Costa Rica. But on the inside, there's a lot of turmoil in my mind, I guess, because I'm a Gemini, a manifestor, and all these things, and I'm here to I need to know everything. So inside, there's a lot of suffering. So even when it's beautiful outside, I could be crying and feeling sorry for myself and suffering. But now I know that this is my alchemy process of understanding what's going on. So I was suffering, and I was like asking Chat GPT, which is brilliant. Why am I suffering? Look at my thoughts. I normally record voice memos and then I put on ChatGPT to analyze my rants, my prayers, my craziness. And it's like, am I crazy? That's the main question I ask ChatGPT when I'm low. But I'm not, okay? And I am at the same time, so it's all good. And then it was telling me that, oh, because you're the chosen one, because you're here to heal the family lineage, because every family there's a moment of a broken link that the person decides to stop all the bullshit that came from the past, and you are the one. And I was just like, wait a moment, wait, did I sign up for this? Did I, like, as a soul, sign a contract saying I'm coming down to earth to heal my family lineage from all of their traumas and all of their conditionings and all of their limiting beliefs and all of their bullshit? I don't think so. I don't think. No. Wait. If that's what I've done, and here I am on earth trying to heal everyone, and myself included, but all of the people around me, including the people that have died already. What the F? God, excuse me. I revoke. No, let's analyze this. I need a lawyer. This is not gonna work like this for me moving forward. I am not here to heal everybody. And actually, if the ancestors died and they are in higher realms as spirits, angels, whatever, and they have access to not this physicality of this earth, of being here stuck in this matrix, if they're more free in other dimensions, that they have access to instant manifestations, they're the one that need to heal me now. They're the one that died and went to the other side where realizations are easier. Please bring it on. Please heal me. But that's also codependency. I'm just realizing that. So I guess in a nutshell, to have us all understand this idea of codependency is that I can be me, I can do what I want, and you can be you, and you can do what you want. And none of this needs to mean anything to one another. Like an example that a spiritual teacher once told me is that I could be screaming at your face and telling you that you are the most absolute disgusting idiot in the world. And it does not mean that you are an absolute disgusting idiot. It means that I am screaming at your face and saying that. It doesn't mean that I am that either. It just means that I am having a moment, that I am being this person that is screaming at your face and telling you you're an idiot. If you from that relationship with me, witnessing me saying that to you, think of yourself as an idiot, then it's you who thinks of yourself as an idiot. It is not me that is defining who you are as an idiot. It may be that in my mind, I'm defining you as an idiot because I'm screaming at you, but it doesn't mean you are. But if you take it personally, then you are. And at the same time, it's because it's much easier for us to be codependent when there is love involved, so if I'm telling you I love you, you're amazing, you're the most beautiful person in the world, you're incredible, and we take that on and we think that's personal too, I'm sorry to say that's also codependency, because if we let that build us, it's also us taking in the insight from the outside world to make a meaning of ourselves. And while I think it's amazing that we are surrounded by people that love us and support us and bring us up and compliment us, compliments are amazing, these are beautiful things to receive, the idea of evolving as yourself, as a person, is that you are self-loving, self-sufficient, and that you don't enmesh your energy, your concept of yourself, with other people's concept of themselves or of you. And in this way, we can all do whatever we want to do, not meaning anything to the other person, unless we have a conversation and a clear agreement. If there is no agreement, there's just an energy enmeshment. And I don't know if you're going to listen to me because nature sounds are just so beautiful right now. If there is any kind of friction, negativity, or a sense of resentment or entitlement, or this person, or even like a sense of rescuing one another, like, oh, let me help this person has less than me, so I have more than them, so I need to help them, that is all codependency. I'm just going to put everything in that box, codependency. And I believe that we are all here as humans, willing, able, and capable of becoming the best versions of ourselves. And from that purification process of really alchemizing all of the lower energies inside of our brain, our psyche, our emotional body, our physical body, and uplifting everything to God, to the light, to a beingness of love, we can then bring that from being a clear channel to the love already existent everywhere. We can bring that pure love to other people without demanding anything from them, without expecting anything from them, without giving anything for them for our own validation or for a sort of reward. And we can live a more free life. And I'm learning that, and I'm so happy that I'm here in Costa Rica with my mom, because my relationship with my mom has been very, very codependent for many, many years, for many, many lifetimes, I guess. And slowly but surely, I've made the process of healing myself. And in the process, I observe her healing too. And it's beautiful to witness how there's a little bit of friction. But before it was like, ah, and now it's just like, oh, ah. And it's very cool to see how I can let her be without attaching, most of the time, and I'm not perfect, without attaching all my expectations, all my judgments, all of my on her. And I lead by example. So whenever I'm able to be in that frequency, I believe she catches that and she's in that frequency too. And yeah, it's a frequency. Codependency is a low frequency. And then in that frequency, there's jealousy, trying to control the other person, trying to manipulate the other person, lying, thinking that somebody is against you, thinking that they're out to get you. And it's a frequency of thought that, imagine being in a relationship with another person that they're always offending you, or you're always offended by them, or they're always trying to control you, or there's drama, there's trauma, there's insecurity, doubt, all of these lower levels of energy. Yeah, feel it. Because it used to feel very natural to me because that's what I was used to. But now the friction is very big, and whenever I see some sort of energy like that, I feel it very deeply because I'm so used to now being with myself, by myself, in pure energies, that if somebody comes and they're like asking me, not asking me, but like if the energy is lower and I'm willing to go lower to meet the person in that energy, because it's very easy to not do that with new people, but with people that has been in your life for a while and you have that dynamic, you kind of tend to fall back to the whatever dynamic you created in the beginning. And normally if you're evolving, that's a lower dynamic, unless they're evolving with you and everybody's evolving together, which would be ideal, but it doesn't happen like that all the time. So it's up to the person's self-love to keep that frequency high. And if somebody can meet you in that frequency, you can coexist together in that frequency. And if somebody is not willing and they're like want to stay in a lower frequency and they're trying to pull you, not on purpose, again, these are all in consciousness and awareness of the mind, and no one does this on purpose. I don't believe in evil, I believe in lower vibrations and people being unaware of what they're doing. And it's not a comparison, like you being more aware doesn't mean that the other person is less aware. It's just different levels and frequencies of awareness. I'm not going to say there isn't low and high, because there is. These are measurements normal. So when you go up to the atmosphere, the air is a little more rarefied and the frequency is more ethereal, and that's why we call it ascending and we call it grounding. But the ideal here is that we are both grounded and tethered to the higher frequencies. So the alchemy is when you can be in a high frequency and you can share that from the overflow with other people. And so it's never a giving as in to get, it's a giving just to give. It's a receiving to receive. It's a loving to love. It's a being with one another to be with one another, not to try to make the other person have the same opinion than you, same taste than you. And that's very interesting in a mother-daughter relationship, because when you're growing up with your mother as a child that is trying to survive in this world and learn everything from a person that's been here longer, that has more experience than you tend to take on whatever their reality is as truth, because they are the people that brought you to life. They're your caregiver. So it's very easy, if there is codependency in the lineage, for you to take on codependency. And it's a natural thing, and I think most humans have it. I think, if not, I have it. And if you're listening to me, you have it too. Sorry to say, because that's the truth. Because if it's not in your vocabulary or in your existence, you wouldn't even be available to this transmission, this frequency that I'm giving you. If you see it in others, you have it too. And it's never about others, it's always about you. And the only way to heal codependency is you healing you. And you can never heal codependency in others, and neither can others heal codependency in you, unless they're professional therapists that are trained to make you see yourself. I guess that's all I wanted to say. It's a lot about codependency. I'm now going to go enjoy Costa Rica with my mom and be more and more aware of who I am around her, and try and be the most loving I can be to enjoy my beautiful relationship with the goddess that gave life to me. Thank you. And if you like this video, if you want to share it with somebody that's codependent, that's a very codependent thing to do, but share. If you want to share from overflow, from abundance, from like, oh, this message is amazing, let me share it. That's amazing. But if you want to share like, oh, this person does that, they need to heal, let me share this for them to heal, just letting you know, that's codependent. But that's okay, because that's how we heal. We need to be in it to then see it, to then get out of it. And so I hope you heal from your codependency, because I really do want to live in a world where everybody is in a high frequency of love, of peace, of prosperity, of abundance, of happiness, of Be and let be. Thank you. Leave a comment if you must. Bye. Mwah.